Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so this is a bit of a weird one, purely because with this video in particular, I've already have it recorded and edited, and it's actually uploaded onto the channel, but it's just unlisted. So there are certain characters that are being buffed, that were initially buffed on global. Obviously, you know, updates have happened, so we'll go through everything then. But yeah, so everything is recorded, and then of course I was gonna wait until global first release, because of course I'm under NDA when it comes to global stuff. You know, I'll say that much. And this was one of the things there, you know, with them buffing up characters. Of course, I wasn't allowed to really speak about it because, of course, it was all in game. But regardless, it seems that their information came on Discord. So technically speaking, it's in the open. It's in the open, so we can talk about it early on before global releases. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing. So that is right. Seasonal 1 characters, as well as Red Yami, they are going to be banner characters, the first banner characters for global. These characters have been buffed. They have been buffed in an amazing way, and with them being buffed, it now goes to show that future characters dropping on global might also be buffed, aka maybe the Eye of Midnight Suns, maybe Season 2 characters. Things are looking a little bit spicy now. So we're going to go through what's going down. So obviously with Mimosa, where the buff is being applied, it's actually on the dupe passive. So they're basically making it so that duping out characters, it's more worth now, right? Giving you the reason to potentially max out a character. Again, this is, in my eyes, it's very needed. You know, Black Clover needs to make money. We've already talked about how their revenue is like so bad, it's like shut down type of revenue. But regardless, you guys understand, we've already been through all of this. But anyway, let's dive on in. So we've got Mimosa being the first Season 1 character. Again, I've just done a video talking about obviously the Season 1 characters and who to get for free and whatnot. And with what I've seen, yo, Mimosa is looking damn good. So hey, as I said it before and I'll say it again, Mimosa is the safe bet. So when it comes to her dupe passive, so level 2 applies 10% damage reduction. Now I'll go through how global initially had the exclusive buff, but 2 dupes into Mimosa and she gets that 10% damage reduction. If you then max her out, when attacking, grants a special point +1 buff. So the consistency of Mimosa's ultimate with the resurrection is going to be disgusting. I mean, later down the line, there are characters out there that are going to be helping her out in the sense of gaining more SP. So the consistency with the ultimate, specifically for her, is going to be pretty disgusting. Keep in mind, she already has SP plus from her skills where she can apply it to an ally. So that's, you know, very helpful. Again, pairing her up with Charlotte, which is a Season 6 character, so that's somewhere down the line. But the green units overall are looking pretty stacked right now, and that final dupe passive on her being that she gets an SP +1, so every turn she gets 2 SP, just keep that in mind, right? That is insane for Mimosa. She's a healer, she can tank beautifully, and if you can consistently get her ultimate in a more consistent manner, then that is going to be OP. And keep in mind, global as of right now, they don't. I mean, well, you got Yami that can take away SP, but I'm sorry, if you use Yami to attack Mimosa, she's just gonna be standing there like, yep, cool, yeah, you're taking away my SP. Don't worry, I'll eat all your attacks and I'll get my SP back by the time you're ready to rock and roll again with your ultimate. It's insane to see on that final passive. So that's Mimosa. Blue Yami, where is he? So Blue Yami applies 10% increased damage dealt on level 2. If you max him out, at the start of a turn, grants a SP +1 buff. Wait, hold on a minute. He's what? Wait, hold on. Wait. I wasn't. Wait, what? At the start of a turn, grants an. So wait, he's basically. So in order for Mimosa to get the SP, she needs to attack. But literally, when the start. Yeah, at the start of a turn. So the minute it's the start of a new turn, he just gets an SP +1. So SP +2, double SP +2 from these two. Oh my god. Well, what is happening? Yeah, maxing these characters out, it is making them slightly more crazy, and clearly you can see the advantage play that's on the hand here. That is interesting. I wasn't expecting that. At the start of the turn, it grants an SP +1. It doesn't seem like it's capped. It legit just sounds, yeah, the way that it's been worded, it's literally like every turn you get an SP +1. So every turn, technically speaking, this also, yeah, this Yami is also getting +2. Same with Mimosa. And then moving over to Asta, so when it comes to the level 2 passive, applies 12% increased attack for 1 turn at the start of the wave. I think that's supposed to be 2 turn, but I will double check. And when it comes to maxing him out, at the start of the combat, grants stat element immunity for 1 turn. This is... So now this is putting Asta on PvP now. Because obviously he's immune to like speed, down, stuns, etc. and all that good stuff. As an attacking unit, you want him to be there and available to attack. Keep in mind, he's got top speed of 109. He also gives himself high mobility from skill 2, of course. So if he's safe and ready to go for round 2, he'll be very quick about it. And so having that protection, it does put Asta in a much better position to where he was beforehand, specifically for when it comes to PvP. I mean, for PvE, that's also going to be handy if there is a boss or an enemy that's kind of doing some shenanigans turn 1, right? With like reducing speed or applying DO, I don't know, right? Just bunch of shenanigans. But for Asta, I will say this was heavily kind of needed, so I'm loving that. I will double check the 12% because that should be 2 turns and not 1 turn, because that's the old buff. And then when it comes to the red Yami, my boy red Yami, level 2 applies 5% increased damage dealt. I think, wait, that should have been buffed unless I'm tripping. I'll go over that again in just a second. If you max him out, grants a counterattack for 1 turn at the start of a wave. They saw what people were doing. So if you guys don't know, when JP and obviously KR was a thing, people found out about with William's ultimate, it can apply counterattack. And so what people did was they juiced up their red Yami, so that way when William activates his ultimate, the counterattack will then fall onto red Yami, and red Yami's first skill, because it's AoE and because he does a ton of damage, and of course crit rate and crit damage is also being placed, people could at times Oko certain characters and just do like over 50% of their HP as damage, like, or lose over half their health. Red Yami and the William combo was just too strong, and so yeah, they've given him the counterattack. Fair play, developers, fair play. They saw the comp, they saw the meta on what people built, and they were like, you know what, let's just add it onto his passive, give him the counterattack. So yeah, no, we'll take that. We'll take that. So that is pretty much the buff on what's going on. Again, it's done by duping. That's, you know, that's the big incentive, right? They're trying to make some money. So just to give you guys an idea on what's happening, so Global was looking like it was getting the exclusive buff. So if you head over to JP and KR right now, when it comes to this Mimosa, her duping path, as you guys can see, on on +2, it says 5% damage decrease, right? Whereas on Global, it's 10%. And then if you max out Mimosa on JP and KR as of right now, it then goes to 10%. So basically, a maxed out Mimosa on JP and KR is obtainable on Global just by 2 dupes. And then you get the additional bonus on Global. That's how crazy things were, and that's why me and a few other content creators were losing our mind. You know, I mean, of course we weren't allowed to talk about it, but now we can, because, well, it's public information now. So you guys can see on why we were like, oh my god, Global is getting a huge buff on these characters. This is insane. However, when it came to the half anniversary patch notes, which released, I think, just under an hour ago, there are going to be balance adjustments. So of course, with Global releasing with Season 1 and stuff like that, on the JP and KI side of things, we're also getting a rerun of like the old Seasonal 1 characters and Seasonal 2 characters, and so they are also putting the changes into JP and KI so that we also spend money, because they want to make money and you can't blame them for that. So of course with the Asta, as you guys can see, let's have a look. So Awakening passive level 1, so at the start of the wave, 12% increased power. So the change will be now 2 turns. So it's not 1 turn. Your attacking power increase will be for 2 turns when it comes to Global and now JP and KR. And then when it comes to Awakening passive level 2, which is maxing them out, by the way, yeah, we are then going to be getting the buffs that Global already have. Alright. So to anyone that is playing JP and KR, don't worry, it's not the end of the world. There are some additional characters that are changing up outside of seasonal characters, and Yami, of course. A skill page by being called Graceful Beginning debuff removal, 50%. God damn. Wait, which one is this? Hold on a minute. We gotta find this one. Alright, I think the one that they're talking about is actually Mimosa's skill page, which is actually pretty decent. So, damn. Okay. 50%. That's actually pretty... I mean, yeah. I mean, it's given that incentive. I can't complain. Obviously, yep, Yami. So the additional characters that are getting buffed up is the Evil Eye of the Midnight Suns, Veto, and Fana, and Sally. So, of course, with Sally, she's getting a speed buff to now where she's 110. Obviously, if you get to LR, of course, before she was at 108. Which kind of makes sense, because she's a support character. So I thought she would have been a little bit faster. So, yeah, okay, 110. Interesting. That's going to change a few things up now. Fana, it's only her bond attack that's been buffed up, where she does more damage. So, yeah, it is what it is. I don't typically use bond on Fana, unfortunately. Vet, on the other hand, by the looks of it, his skill 2, his ultimate, including his bond, I think for the most part, it's making it so that he does more damage. But more importantly, he is doing a little bit more life stealing, which is nice. And then attack after giving himself a buff that increases the amount of damage dealt by... Yeah, so he's basically getting a damage buff and being able to life steal a lot more now. Oh god. Oh god, this Veto. I mean, here's the thing, people don't really have rank Veto that highly, but he can be a bit of a nuisance at times. So, alright, well, it's not the end of the world, but either way, very nice to see my boy Veto, as I am a fan of him, to get a little bit of buff. So, that is pretty much the full-on buffs. Obviously, with Veto, Fana, that is going to be added at a later time for Global. Sally is also available day 1 for Global, so I assume she's also going to be getting the 110 speed buff, alongside with the other 4 characters that we've just spoken about.